What it do, what it do, what it do? You already know what's going on. It's yours truly. Just say it with me. They call me Mr. TALIAFERRO. How's everybody doing out there? Very unfortunate video, but somebody's got to come on camera and give you the disappointing news, especially if you're a Kodak Black fan. Before we do that, though, I got to pay some bills. I got to promote this Instagram account. I got a holiday giveaway coming up on Instagram. Y'all need to follow your boy at Mr. TALIAFERRO. I'm not going to come on too many more videos and tell y'all I'm about to give away a lot of free stuff for Christmas. Announcements coming soon. If you want to win this free stuff, you need to be following me on Instagram at Mr. TALIAFERRO. I'm telling you, that's the only place where the holiday giveaway announcements coming. I only got like 4,000 followers, so you got a good chance of winning. You just got to be following me on Instagram to find out more details. Now, with that being said, sad news out of hip-hop. Sad news out of hip-hop. Let me make myself clear. This is sad news out of hip-hop for a multitude of reasons. The Project Baby himself, Florida's own Kodak Black, was in court on Wednesday. If you subscribe to my platform, you already know these things. I've been keeping you guys up to date for the last couple weeks now on Kodak Black's situation. Kodak Black was in court. He's been locked up since May. He got arrested Rolling Loud weekend in Miami. Sum up a long story of what happened to Kodak Black. He was being watched by the feds. You want to know what Kodak Black did? He keeps buying guns. Kodak Black went to the gun store on 2 separate occasions in 2019. Both ignorant of Kodak Black. You can't buy guns when you have open indictments, all right? Kodak Black is fighting a rape charge in South Carolina that he's facing 30 years on and he's going to have to deal with at some point in the near future. Put that to the side. Kodak Black goes into the gun store. First time around, purchases 3 weapons. All right, they're gonna let you put yourself in a hole. Kodak goes in, buys 3 weapons. He lies about his social security number. I already told you on the gun application, it asks you, do you have any open indictments? Kodak Black says no. That is a lie. According to Kodak's legal team, he thought it meant, do you have any open indictments in the state of Florida? Again, he has an open indictment in the state of South Carolina. Again, that's a mistake, misinformed, lack of education, whatever you want to call it, but it is against the law. That alone got Kodak Black jammed up. Not to mention, one of the guns that Kodak Black purchased the first time around was also a weapon on the scene of a shooting, and they have been able to tie Kodak Black's fingerprints to it. Be clear, Kodak has not been charged in that shooting, but obviously that did not help his case when Kodak's in court trying to get out of prison, and the judge is looking him in the eyes saying, no, yo, not only did you buy illegal guns, one of these guns that you bought was used in the shooting. Me personally, I believe the gun store should be held accountable for selling Kodak the weapons, but like I said earlier, they're going to let you dig yourself in the hole. Kodak goes back to the gun store in March. The first incident was in February. He goes back to the gun store in March, purchases 3 more weapons. Another one of the weapons comes up in this scenario. Kodak Black, while he's on tour, I believe crossing the Canadian to American border, he gets caught in a car that they get pulled over and stopped at the border. They find one of those weapons. So number one of your weapons in the first time you went to purchase guns was at a crime scene, right? It was a part of a crime, a shooting. And second time around, you didn't went and purchase illegal guns. We didn't find one of the guns in the car while you trying to cross the border. This is all bad. Why is there not someone in Kodak Black team buying his guns for him? Why is he trying to put these guns in his name? Now, it is worth noting, second time around, when Kodak Black bought those guns, he did put the correct social security number. But again, when asked, do you have any open indictments? Kodak Black said no. Again, bad. I don't know if he got that advice from his team, his lawyer, or he just went out on the wheelworks and did that on his own. That was a bad decision. So Kodak's been locked up since May. Fast forward, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, we're in November. Kodak's in court, sentencing date. His lawyers and his legal team pretty much accepted defeat. They're like, yo, Kodak, you're going to have to sit down for a minute. It's not looking too good. The other day, Kodak's legal team walked into the courtroom or talked to the judge behind the scenes, and said, yo, can we please get around 34 37 to 44 months instead of the 10 years that Kodak Black was facing. Well, it's closer to what Kodak's legal team was asking for, but it's still a lot of time. Kodak Black, for his involvement in all of this, has been sentenced to 46 months in prison on federal weapons charges. Again, his legal team was asking for about 37 to 44 months, so about 3 years, 8 months. He's going to have to do closer to 4 years in prison, sentenced to 46 months incarceration. I'm not sure if he's going to get time served for what he's already did. It's possible. So here's the reality of the situation. If you're a Kodak Black fan or just concerned about this young man and the decision that this young 23-year-old makes, he's going to have to sit down for about 3 years and some change. Now, there's always the possibility that he gets out on good behavior. Here's the reality of the situation. Like I said earlier, Kodak Black is fighting rape in South Carolina about an incident that happened back in 2016. I think it was involving a 16-year-old. Please don't quote me on that. It's not looking great for the Project Baby right now. Here's the reality of the situation. He could have had to do 10 years. Obviously, I'm not an advocate of, when you're talking about weapon charges, I think all this is gray area. You got laws in one state that's different from that state. It's all gray to me, so I don't come in on, do I feel like a man should get time, especially when nobody's been killed or injured. The man just didn't know the law and was oblivious to what the law is. But I will say this. Hopefully, Kodak comes out making better decisions. When Kodak first gets out of prison, like a lot of people we know, like your cousin, your uncle, or maybe even you, the first few months, the first couple years, you good. You make good decisions. But as time goes by, especially somebody like Kodak Black, he's rich. And he's an artist that gets positive reformations from a lot of fans every day. As time persists, he starts to make bad decisions, and it looks like that's what happened again, buying guns in your name when you're facing 30 years in another state. That's just terrible decision making. I hope the Kodak we know comes out a changed man. I hope Bill Capri comes out making better decisions when he does get out. I hope his music is able to last. He's got a pretty nice fan base that'll hold him down, especially with social media now. I think he'll be fine in 3 to 4 years time. I hope he comes out ready to get to work and put that pen in them bars and let us know his story and how he keeps making bad decisions. I said this in my video the other day. The thing that baffles my mind about Kodak Black, when you listen to his music, you hear a smart kid from nothing that's working on making better decisions. When you see Kodak Black in reality, you see everything but the artist you see in the music, and sometimes that confuses me as a fan of this young man's work. I will say this. If you want more details about everything Kodak was accused of and everything that went into his situation, check my video out from yesterday. It's a little more in depth on that side. Today we're talking about the actual sentencing, but that's all I have on Kodak. The South Florida rapper has been sentenced to 46 months in prison on weapons charges. Again, was facing 10 years, so I guess you could look at this as a blessing in disguise, but you could also look at this as this is the 4th time in 4 years Kodak Black has been in front of a judge begging for his freedom, and this time around he was not as lucky as he'd been in years previous. He's gonna have to sit down for a little minute. Best of luck to the Project Baby and his team. I hope he comes out with just a better everything. Thank you guys so much for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. Salute. I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
All the kids, they tuned in.
We locked in right now,
Mr. Taliaferro.
Mr. Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV.